for a night without their mechanics. This morning, the top three in the bikes, Kevin Benavides, Skylar Howes and Toby Price, were separated by just 2 minutes and 10 seconds as we head into the business end of this Dakar.
Yeah, these are the most important 4 days of the lot. The times are close, so you can't afford to make mistakes and can't afford to break the motorcycle.
Others with more modest ambitions were just looking forward to a day in the dunes, like birthday boy Charlie Herbst. I love this kind of terrain. I feel really at home in the dunes. That's why I'm on the Dakar, to have some fun in these incredible landscapes. First off the line was Ross Branch, who's been yo-yoing up and down in recent days. The Motswala clearly confident in his navigation.
I hope I keep everybody in Saudi and don't take them off to the UAE or something, but yeah, we're going to have some fun.
Well, Branch was quickly caught by Adrian van Beveren, who set off in second place. The Frenchman was disappointed not to be able to make the most of his speed over the sand because he couldn't go flat out while he was opening. The two riders did their best, but even with bonuses, Branch dropped nearly 13 minutes and AVB just over 9. Branch did at least enjoy taking a spin through this magnificent desert scenery. And he wasn't the only one. What a place to ride your bike. Well, then again, nobody said it was easy to plough through nearly 300 kilometres of sand. Little groups were forming all over the place. Franco Caimi was joined by Daniel Nasiglia and Nacho Cornejo. Hero rider Caimi was the best placed on the day in 9th position, even if he got completely lost at one point. Cornejo, 14th today, is 8th overall. Romain Dumontier has been on top form in recent days. He was 7th on the stage. The Frenchman riding solo until refuelling before he was eventually caught by Daniel Sanders and Luciano Benavides. After a minor crash late on, he just eased his way to the finish. Sebastian Bühler also had one of his best days at the rally. The Stage 2 runner-up coming home in 6th place for the Hero team, even if he also took a bit of a tumble at one point. Mason Klein and Daniel Sanders also rode together, but the American's really struggling after his crashes of recent days. Lots of pain in his neck and his head. He lost almost 20 minutes. Sanders, on the other hand, was second quickest, even if he needed a bit of time to refamiliarise himself with the dunes. The Australian is now 7th overall. Now, with the exception of the very short stages during this Dakar, the riders always stop midway through the day to refuel. It's an opportunity to see how they're getting on in terms of the time gaps and check that everything is okay with their bike. Pablo Quintanilla didn't feel great this morning, but he still put down a good pace. The Chilean had a few lines to follow, and he avoided any crashes or mechanicals. Pablo is now 4th overall, 14 minutes and 14 seconds off the lead. But increasingly this Dakar is looking like a 3-horse rally, with Kevin Benavides very much in the mix for a second title. He began 4th and pushed hard, eventually catching the front group after refuelling. He does slip down to 3rd place overall, but he's under 3 minutes back, and he'll set off in 10th place tomorrow. Toby Price is hunting Dakar number 3, and another fine performance today moved him to within 28 seconds of the hot seat. The Australian pushed where he could and minimised risks so he wouldn't have any issues with his KTM. Price third on the day and second overall, but he says there is still a long way to go. He was briefly knocked off top spot yesterday by Kevin Benavides, but Skylar Howes reclaimed the lead today. The American was slowed down by a couple of mistakes. He even fell over while he was turning around at one point, but at least he didn't attempt any jumps this time. No damage to the bike or to the body. And after coming fourth, Skylar will have a few guys to chase in tomorrow's 12th stage. He says this one is going down to the wire.
Definitely it's going to be close, and there wasn't much separating us out today. I know the times are definitely super close out there today, so this is all it's going to do is be tight going all the way into the finish, which is super exciting.
And the stage victory for the third time this Dakar went to Skylar's teammate Luciano Benavides. The Argentine has certainly hit a rich vein of form after a slightly difficult start to this rally. First on stage 6, first on stage 9, and now first on stage 11. He said he had a blast today over the dunes, and he's now up to 6th place overall. It was a really nice stage. I really enjoyed myself. Dunes all the way, pushing at 100%. It felt a bit like a motocross race. I love this type of terrain. My pace and speed are good. I found what I was looking for earlier in the rally. I'm happy. In the end, the gaps weren't huge, around 6.5 minutes separating the top 10. That also included Lorenzo Santolino in 8th place. 28 seconds separate Howes and Price. Kevin Benavides is 2:44 back. Quintanilla, Van Beveren and Luciano are a little further adrift, but they're within 20 minutes. And remember, the winner of the Dakar is going to score big points in the World Rally Raid Championship. So after a long and tiring day, the riders arrived at the marathon bivouac deep in the empty quarter. Most of the top guys had avoided any major problems, but they still had half an hour to work on their bikes and check everything was okay. It was 1 hour in Rally 2 and quads. Those in the same class could help each other out, but it was forbidden to change tyres. The bikes then went into Parc Fermé for the rest of the evening. Join us for part 2 of the marathon stage tomorrow.